What's going on, Laker fans? What is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for being a part of the post game show after the post game show. Always appreciate you guys being a part of it. All right, I think everybody's got me here. We're doing a little doing post game after the post game from home tonight, Laker fans. So appreciate you guys being a part of the show. All right, we got a lot to get into. Just want to make sure everything's going. All right, we got everything. Got everybody on doing their thing. Just giving some people some time to get on. Got a couple of fist pumps from my people out there. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Thank you for being a part of the show. Okay, so we got kind of a lot to get into, Laker fans. You know, unfortunately, we got some stuff that I don't want to get into that we're going to have to get into. And then also, really impressive win by the Lakers tonight without Anthony Davis for most of the show. So we're going to get into it all. Final score tonight. So let me just put this up here. 126 to 108, the final score. Lakers over the Denver Nuggets. Anthony Davis played 17 minutes tonight. That's it. That's all he played. And to be honest with you, we really didn't get much of an update in the postgame show. So I was hoping that we'd hear something from Darvin Ham in postgame show number one. But the reality is we didn't get much. So he just basically said he's going to get more testing tomorrow in his right foot, and we'll try to get some more information. I guess there was some discomfort that started in the first quarter against the Nuggets, and that's where we are right now. That's where we are, Laker fans. So we'll get into Anthony Davis, and if he's not around, what's it called? If he's not around, then now we're going to have to, obviously figure out what the Lakers would have to do for a certain amount of time. Okay, so let's kind of figure all this out. So, by the way, home studio today. Did everything from home today. Kind of feeling a little bit under the weather, so just kind of dealing with that. So is what it is. We'll get through it and we'll go from there. Let me first just talk about the W. All right, I just want to talk about the win for the Lakers. So first things first. Lakers were 5 games below 500 before they started tonight. And I have mentioned this. I know a lot of people have that you can't keep having these okay wins for the Lakers, or, hey, you know what? They almost got that W against the Celtics. You know what? They almost got that win versus the, who was it? Philadelphia 76ers. You kind of go down the list of potential wins that the Lakers could have had. And we know over time the Lakers haven't exactly they haven't really come out on the right side of a lot of those games against good competitive teams. So with that in mind, I think it's important to point out here that the Lakers just getting a W is the most important thing, just finding a way to get a win. But tonight, when the Lakers were down 10, I think they were down 83 to 73, and we knew Anthony Davis wasn't coming back in the game, you kind of just thought to yourself, that, all right, well, this is probably a wrap. The Denver Nuggets are a good team. They're third place in the Western Conference. And I always kind of look at the Lakers. Sometimes you could easily have momentum that completely leaves you. And a lot of that momentum is, a lot of it has to do with the players that you have on the floor. How are your key players doing, so forth and so forth. So I think tonight what stood out to me is that Lakers went down 10, and then all of a sudden they went on a run. I really think they started – what was the run that they went on? They finished the game 53 to 25. 53 to 25. They ended up outscoring from when they were down 10, they ended up outscoring the Denver Nuggets, I want to say by 28 points, something like that. So the Lakers obviously dominated when it comes to the last half of the third quarter plus the entire fourth quarter. So pretty impressive what the Lakers did on that front. We don't get too often a chance to do this. When LeBron puts up 30 and 9 like he did tonight, went 13 to 20 from the field, we kind of just look at it and then we turn the page and it's like, yeah, that's what LeBron does. Give him his credit tonight. 36 minutes, 13 to 20. But for me, I really, really want to shout out some of these other players for the Lakers because whether it was Austin Reeves with his 16 points and his 4 rebounds, or it was Dennis Schroeder chipping in with 15 points. Patrick Beverly had some big threes. He had 10 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds when the Lakers were starting to come back. I thought Max Christie, with his couple of threes, had 2 threes a row in 2 possessions. I thought those were big and those were fantastic. So I want to give all those guys their credit because 7 guys scored in double figures tonight, and Anthony Davis only played 17 minutes. So I'm going to give all those guys their credit. However, I will sit on the other side of this, and I will say that the Russ and Thomas Bryant pieces tonight, probably the difference of the game. Thomas Bryant came in, ended up playing 24 minutes for the Lakers. He only missed 2 shots. He took 11 shots. So he was 9 of 11 from the field. Had 21 points, had 6 rebounds. If you took what Thomas Bryant did and what Anthony Davis did in his 17 minutes combined, that's 31 points and about 16 rebounds. That's basically an Anthony Davis night. So AD in his 17 minutes of play gave you 10 and 4, but really didn't do anything after the first quarter. But Thomas Bryant made it feel like AD was on the floor, at least for the second half, because of his 21 points and the 6 rebounds, like I mentioned. I'm sorry, I think I was way off on the rebounds. It would have been 31 and 10 because Thomas Bryant had 6 rebounds. I was actually reading Russ's stat line. So Thomas Bryant kind of out of nowhere, at least for a night, comes in when he's got to go up against Jokic, a good Denver Nuggets team, and he was fantastic for the Lakers. He was big for the Lake Show. Russ, who we don't give, I think, enough credit for of what he's done so far this year coming off the bench. He's been pretty consistent. Listen, I'm the first one to tell you, Russ sometimes is very frustrating because he has bad turnovers or he takes bad shots or a team baits him into taking a shot and he ends up taking that shot. I think a lot of times that ends up happening with Russ. Tonight he had another triple-double, 15, 12, and 11. Still had 4 turnovers, but and it's not like his shots, it's not like he's shooting 50% from the field or anything like that, but he found ways to impact the games. I thought he set up Dennis Schroeder and Patrick Beverly and Thomas Bryant and LeBron. He was setting up all these guys. So a lot of the points that these Lakers players had, most of those assists were coming directly from Russ. So give Russ his credit. I know, like I said, sometimes it could be frustrating watching Russell Westbrook, but if he has one of those games, give the man his credit, and that's that's obviously the best way to do it. Is let him also kind of thrive in those moments. Let him get the credit that he deserves because we know it doesn't always happen that way. So that's kind of those are the few takeaways that I took tonight. What I took away was a lot of role players stepped up. Lakers were down 10 and they come all the way back. And in a game like tonight where you're coming off, Lakers had lost. Don't forget, they had lost 4 of their last 5 games. So after they beat the Wizards a week ago, they lost to Cleveland, Toronto, Philly, beat the Pistons, and then lost to the Boston Celtics. So they had lost 4 of their last 5. This is very important to get a win like this, and the Lakers found a way to do it. So give these dudes credit for making it happen. Okay, before I get into the Anthony Davis piece, because I do want to spend a little bit of time on the AD piece, let me read a couple of these comments here. We got excellent contributions by others. How about the triple dub? That's 805 hiking. OC O'Neill says the contributions of the others. Call for president says Russ still wild with a rock. Not going to really argue that. I understand that. There are times that he is. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Al, do you think the Lakers will be over 500 before New Year's? To be honest, no. And I'll tell you why. They could get to within 3 games over 500 if they beat the Wizards coming up. But then you're back on the road versus Phoenix and Sacramento, so you're hoping to split. Charlotte at home, so you can get within 2 games, and then you basically got to split Dallas, Orlando, Miami, Atlanta. Possible. I think the bigger question is this. What's the latest with Anthony Davis, right? What's the latest with Anthony Davis? Is he Is he out for Sigma? I'm not. I'm just gonna just base this off of what I heard today. It sounded like based off of listening to the broadcasters, listening to a little bit of the broadcast on Spectrum, listening to Coach Ham post game. It sounds like um, th- I'd be surprised if Andy Davis is just back on Sunday, right? Like that. I don't think it's going to be one of those. Um, I'd be more surprised if we'll see how long he's out for, but it'd be kind of shocking to me that this guy comes back right away. So that means if he misses some games, we're talking about if he's missing games against all those teams I talked about, especially on the road. That's going to be tough to keep pace. All right, let's do some roll call. Laker fans, we try to do this when Lakers get W's. So damn it, they got a W tonight. So let's do a little roll call. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Try to give you guys a quick shout out here, and then we'll keep the show going from there. Still want to talk about what the AD piece can mean, number one, and a quick look at the upcoming schedule. Anaheim, thank you for tuning in. Amon Jordan, awesome. Good friend of mine lives in Amman, Jordan. Virgin Islands, thank you for being a part of the show. India in the house. Rochester, New York. Long Beach, Guam, Temple City. Lawndale, always appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Oregon in the house. Huntington Park, downtown LA. Australia. Pico Rivera. Beecher, if I'm reading that right. Let's see what else we got here. Glendale in the house. Lake Forest. Whittier. Scottsdale, Arizona, Auburn, New York, watching all the way out in Philippines. Thank you for being a part of the show. Keep it coming, and I will try to I'll try to put out the as much of these as possible. All right, let's see what we got here. Little Italy, Catalina Island, Beecher, Illinois. Thank you for clarifying that. Rose Garden in the house. Uh, Virginia in the house. Malaysia, Rancho Cucamonga. Thank you for being a part of it. Little Italy, Vegas in the house. I see what else we got here. Third shift, UPS, Ohio in the house. Dude's been here for a while. La Paz. I don't know if you're putting that because of the hat. La Paz, Mexico in the house. Got a little La Paz action right here. Washington, D.C., Kansas City, Fresno. Thank you all for being a part of the show. All right. So let me, and if I miss you, I'll get you guys. Let me, Mexico, Cyprus, Washington, D.C., Mississippi in the house. So let me run through this real quick here on the AD front. So this team, we watched this team so far this year. When Anthony Davis was average, which is about the first month of the season, I'm talking about average for his standards, where he's 22-8, 22-9 a game. Costa Rica, thank you for being a part of the show. When he was average, the Lakers were just simply put way below average. Lakers started the season out 2-10. Then Anthony Davis went on a tear and he went on a run. And once he went on that tear, Lakers went on a tear where they won 8 of 10 games. And then, obviously we know what happened in that road trip. They had some opportunities at the same time. It just didn't work out for the Lakers. You had AD miss that game against Cleveland, missed the game against Toronto, or most of the game against Cleveland. Came back, had some opportunities to win two of these games, the Philly and Boston game. I thought the game was in AD's hand. And, yeah, he had a chance to win the games, and he didn't come through for the Lakers because he didn't hit his free throws. That's with Anthony Davis pretty much averaging 30-plus points, 10-plus rebounds a game, couple block shots. That's with Anthony Davis being arguably one of the best players in the league. So if, Georgia, thank you for being a part of the show, if, hypothetically, Anthony Davis misses some time and, we're not sure if he misses, I'm just going to just make up time. If he misses the rest of the month of December, let's say, which is 2 weeks, 2, 4, 6, 8. You have 8 games in that span of what is it? Of the rest of the month of December, right? Over the 8 weeks, or I'm sorry, over the 8 games, it's about 2 weeks of basketball. If he missed that time, you start asking yourself, okay, can the Lakers actually win games when Anthony Davis is out? History would tell us over the last couple games, of course they struggle when he's out. And even though that the Lakers won tonight, teams will obviously adjust. They'll find ways to come up with ways to um, use the Lakers' disadvantages. There is certainly ways that they'll try to exploit the Lakers on the defensive side, on the offensive side, the whole thing. I mean, everything will change, especially when teams have time to prepare for it. For Denver, it was kind of odd that um, it's odd how they went backwards pretty much after Anthony Davis. I mean, first they had this quick little run, and then that wasn't the case, moving forward. So to kind of look at the Lakers without Anthony Davis, I love their fight. I love how they have players on this roster that will. I really think they're trying for Darvin Ham, but there comes a point where talent, you got to have the talent. So if Anthony Davis is out for a week, 2 weeks, it doesn't matter how long he's out for. Of course, it does. When I'm saying that, the chances of you winning games on a consistent basis go down drastically. Um, so to look at the upcoming schedule for the Lakers, you're already 4 games below 500, and if Anthony Davis goes on a stretch where he misses 8 games, and I'm just talking about the rest of December. Again, I have no idea. We're going to find out more tomorrow. Is the idea and the concept? Um, but if he went through a stretch where he misses, let's say, the rest of December, to be 4-4 over that stretch would be, an unbelievable accomplishment. Which means you get out of December and you're still 4 games below 500, but probably more likely you're 6 or 7 games below 500. So I don't know, obviously when he would come back, and we're going to have to wait until we get some more information. But that is so tough to try to win basketball games without Anthony Davis, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. Okay, as far as what's kind of interesting too is what that would do on the trade front. We know the Lakers have been at least rumored amongst a number of different teams um, about what the Lakers will. I got somebody here saying, mark my words, Sliwa, AD will be back on Monday. Okay, sounds good. I hope so too. Let's find out tomorrow. And if that's the case, you and I should go celebrate somewhere. But if you kind of look at the trade rumors that have been out there, how that could potentially, um, I guess you could say, kind of change things a little bit. Does it change things? And we'll just have to kind of wait and see what happens on that front. I think it has been interesting to listen to all the trade rumors. Yesterday was December 15th. So um, December 15th is now you got almost 90% of the players that are available in a trade in the league. And how that could potentially affect the Lakers, or how it could be beneficial, or whatever the case is, we'll have to kind of wait and see. But the names that we've all heard, whether it's Patrick Beverley or Kendrick Nunn, Russell Westbrook, my guy Jovan Buha, who I spent a lot of time talking to over the last couple of years, but he had an article. I think it came out today. I'm not 100% sure, and you kind of hear a lot of the same names. You hear Bogdanovich, you hear Miles Turner, you hear Buddy Hield, you hear Kyle Kuzma. Lakers got Kuzma coming in on Sunday. By the way, I don't know how you guys feel on that one. The Kuzma thing doesn't really do it for me. It doesn't. I'm reading a couple comments here about the Kuz. I'm okay with him not being on the Lakers. Let him go do his thing, go try to help other teams. Well, the funny thing is he's the type of player that the Lakers need. They need a wing that can play multiple positions, that can hit outside shots, even though I think he's struggling on his three-point shooting this year. But I'm not one that's clamoring to try to get Kyle Kuzma back. I'd much rather take my chances with a Bogdanovich or one of those other players. Bogdanovich, I really, really like. The question's going to be what the asking price is going to be for him. But I'm a big fan of his game, and I think he would fit really, really well with the Lakers. But all those names that we're hearing, some of those names we've been hearing for a year, and then other names are kind of, just kind of coming up here. Some of them a little bit more newer. Fournier, I heard, even though Fournier, I feel like is just another small guard, and Lakers already have plenty of small guards. But we'll just kind of see what the Lakers end up doing. But I would pay attention tomorrow if I hear anything, if there's an update, and usually we get some type of a status report on the Lakers. If we hear anything on the Anthony Davis front, I'll tweet it out. But I appreciate you guys being a part of the show tonight. I'll come back on Sunday. We'll do this again. We'll do this after the Lakers and the Wizards. Lakers over the Nuggets. Final score 126-108. If you guys have not got a chance to subscribe to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate you guys subscribing here on YouTube. All right, Lake fans, thank you. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. We'll get with you guys soon.